Okay, we're taking a look here at courses. And this will be a little bit of an in-depth session because there's quite a lot of functionality in the background of courses. Now, we're looking at courses for a sailing centre and RYA training centre here. We've got a couple of different course types in here. So I'm going to take a look first. I'm just going to start this dinghy level 1. So I've bought this course in through the training scheme. So I've gone into the training scheme, into the RYA, and I've selected dinghy level 1 and I've added it. Now it's come in and it's got a $0 cost. So I'm going to show you how to set up this course and a few of the little detailed functionality we have. So I'm going to click on this course. Firstly, we get this overview screen. So dinghy level 1, start sailing, practical, issues a certificate. It's got no base price, so I need to set that. It's a practical delivery mode. It's inactive, 0 variance. We're going to deal with this here. It's got a bit of a description. We can change that if we want. This comes in directly from the training scheme. It's not an overnight course. We issue an RYA dinghy level 1 from the RYA, and it's got a description on it. All right. So let's start firstly, before I go through the tabs, let's start at edit course. Actually, let me check. Yeah, let's go to edit course. Actually, I'm just going to get rid of the syllabus for a second. I'm just going to save this again. So I've already added it. Okay, let's jump back in here. I've got no syllabus in there now. All right, so let's edit this course. I'm going to start at the top here. I'm going to give it a price. This is in Australian dollars here at the moment. So I think centers that do it here about $2.45. This is where we change our delivery mode, active. We're going to put a category. It's a dinghy course. All right, group pricing. So if we had set up some group pricing discounts for people buy multiple, we would select those here. There's none set up yet in this system, so we're not going to choose those. That'll be in a separate video. It's not an overnight course. We can change here if we want to close this course a certain number of hours before it starts. Now I'm going to put 24 hours, so I probably need a day to organise instructors. I'm integrated with Xero accounting, so I'm going to choose an account there for revenue. I can add images here if I want, but I'm going to leave that for now. This does award a certificate, so I am going to leave that in there. Now I can set up a course syllabus. I can add topics, give it a name, give each those, or I'm just going to bring them in from the scheme to make my life easier to start with. So bringing in launching, this is what we go through there, basic sailing. Okay, that's all good. It's not you can't do this course online, so we're not going to select that. I'm going to select a waiver, general participant waiver, and I'm going to leave this as never allow actually. So what this is if multiple courses are being taught on the dates, and this was something that will happen, like you might teach level 1 and level 2 at the same time. You might want to choose allow. That means if, say, a mum is booking in 3 children, some of them she might book in for level 1, and some who've already done level 1, she might book in for level 2. So, yeah, I'm going to put allow on this one. Variants. I'm just going to leave that for now. I'll show you that in a second. But this is updating the basics of the course. So I'm going to run through there, update that course. Now, if I go back and look in that course, here we are in a dinghy category. There's our prices in there. And I now have this syllabus tab. So let's see the syllabus for the course. Okay, so that's got our overview done. We've got our price in there correctly. We've got all our information in, and we've got a syllabus in. Let's get a variance. Now, these are interesting because quite often a dinghy course is run, you can run it any number of ways, right? You might do a full weekend and people get to level 1 in the weekend. So I know some centres do this as like 3-hour blocks, and people do like 4 3-hour blocks, for example. So there's a few different ways that you can get dinghy level 1. So I'm going to start to add some variants here, and we're going to use that to set up the completion requirements, the ways that people can achieve this certificate. So I want to say, let's just say weekend course. So I'll say intensive weekend for dinghy level 1, right? All right, now if we do the full weekend course, I usually charge, or the centre I'm thinking of usually charge $245 for a 3-hour. So let's say they do a full weekend course. Maybe they sell that at $8.95 for the whole weekend, right? All right, there's one variant, full weekend course. Now let's add another variant, 3-hour morning sailing session. There it is there. 3-hour morning sailing sessions. Okay, that's another variant. That's going to use the basic core price I just set up. So I'm just going to leave that and I'm going to create that variant. Okay, so we're getting a little error there. I've just fixed that, and we're going to create that variant. All right. So we've got this weekend course. We've got the 3-hour, which is kind of the standard one that we charge $245 for. We've got 2 different ways that we deliver this course. Now we could add more. We can add more variants for that. Okay. So we're going to take a look at completion requirements now. So to get this dinghy level 1, there's a few different paths because there's different ways that we teach the course. So we're going to say weekend intensive. That's going to be a dinghy level 1 weekend course, just one of those. So that's one path, right? Now the other path is 4 by 3-hour morning sailing sessions. 3-hour morning ones. We need 4 of them. Okay, good. So there's 2 different ways. Someone could book in for this weekend intensive, and by the time they finish it, assuming they do so successfully, they'll get dinghy level 1. Or they might book in for separate morning weekend sessions. So they might just book 1, they might book 4 weekend sessions. We don't know. So we've got these different paths. All right, now in schedule, when we have this course scheduled, all the different scheduled dates will show up here, so we can see those, a summary of them. And then we have email prep. Now the emails come out with kind of generic information, but we can say, please ensure you bring along. So we can add this to this course. Let's throw in a couple of dot points. Your own lunch, if doing the weekend course. Let's say we need sunscreen and water. And your course syllabus book. Well, if you are doing 3-hour sessions and have already completed your first. If this is your first, we will give you. Okay, let's save that. That'll go out on their participant email. And if I had a PDF or something, I could upload it here and we get sent out. But there we go. So we've set up a course. We've got a syllabus. We've got different ways that we teach the course. We've got different paths for completion, and now we can start to book people on that. Let's go back to the front page here. So if we wanted to update, bulk update certain parts of this app, certain course elements, we could. So let's say like Coastal Skipper and Day Skipper Online, maybe. Say we want to bulk edit that. We could do that there. Wanted to do those together. We can look at different categories. So we can just see all dinghy courses. We can look at different types. So we can look at, well, what's my practical courses? What's my classroom courses? And we can search. So we can say level 1. Oh, there we go there. We can say content. Yeah, all right. And we can always just come here and set up a new course from scratch, or we can import courses. All right, so that's our course functionality.